a stat on Jokic last year, and I don't know the exact number, but in the finals, in the finals versus Miami, he shot like 70% from the free throw line in.
JJ Redick might have just devised the best defensive game plan ever created against Nikola Jokic. In the 2023 Western Conference Finals, the Lakers found some success by sticking a forward on Jokic and allowing Anthony Davis to roam off behind him and help.
We remember that.
But that only did so much against the Denver Machine that swept them en route to a title. So Redick borrowed that with Rui Hachimura starting on Joker and Jackson Hayes roaming off Aaron Gordon. And to start this game, this looked like the same movie we've seen before with nothing really new. Even a minute later, no one wants to get sealed on the fast break by Joker, so Rui's fighting to deny the entry pass, and this all looks fairly ordinary. But the next possession caught my eye. There was an off-ball foul that we couldn't really see live, but Hachimura is driving Jokic outside the free throw line and trying to impede his movement. And so, what do you do when someone shoots 74% inside 15 feet and is a near perfect passer in those spots? You don't let him catch the ball inside 15 feet.
Yeah.
Rui pushes out his catch. They actually switch, but only to front and deny, knowing a roamer's on the backside. The second Gordon gets it, LeBron switches to play the pass.
Ooh.
Then good old Luka Doncic uses his length.
Ooh,
and that's a great
I like
defensive possession.
I really like that. So this is what I talked about in my video right before this one. Like you could preach and motivate your players all day, but your players have to come and play and give the effort that's necessary to put the game plan to the floor. To make this switch like this well means that these guys locked in, bro.
The second Gordon gets
So the second he passes, no hesitation. They know. There's no hesitation. They know that LeBron is a bigger defender. The second we have an opportunity to switch that, do it quickly. Look, it's no hesitation
to play the pass. Then
that's
good
good.
Old Luka Doncic uses his length, and that's a great defensive possession. Hachimura
Gotta
picks
box
up
out, though.
Jokic at midcourt, chest to chest, trying to make his movement difficult and keep Joker away from the basket, and that takes him away from his scoring spots. Now, another element here is the Lakers would switch Jokic screens, but note the technique. LeBron jams to front him because Hayes is roaming on the backside, ignoring Aaron Gordon.
Oh, that's important.
And LA rotates nicely, but with LeBron lingering, the Nuggets need better spacing here to free up Murray or Michael Porter Jr. And this is Joker's first normal post-up, and they get a solid shot out of it.
Box.
So part one of the game plan is keep Joker away from the hoop. Part two is to front and deny the pass when he's below the foul line. And part three is to dare people to shoot.
Yeah.
They get it to
They
him
did
on
it to
the elbow
Westbrook
this
a
time.
lot.
Hayes and Luka are just clogging the paint here, entirely conceding the three to Gordon, who actually went 4 for 7 on these. Although this doesn't quite work the same with Hayes on Jokic instead, because Rui isn't long enough off ball or a natural shot blocker.
No, but we broke this down. Here's the thing. If you're going to do it, right, I get it. You roaming, but in my opinion, like right here, Rui doesn't have to step over that far. And here's why I think that. I get that the point is for Rui to meet Jokic as high as possible on the floor so he doesn't get any deep post work. But when I say guard and air, you already have guys zoned up, right? So right now, Luka is pretty much taking the first pass. He's the first pass. He's taking the first pass on any skip. So if it goes here, it'll be Luka. If it goes here, it'll be Luka. Finney is pretty much taking away just the closest man to the ball, which is what you should do if you're going to trap or do something like that, which is Westbrook. So technically, all Rui has to do is protect the basket. That's the one thing you need to protect. It shouldn't be any gray area there, right? Like the roaming is fine, but if you give up the basket, none of it matters.
Or a natural shot blocker. But with Hayes roaming off Gordon, he can clog up the paint for cutters in exchange for open threes, and that's a great rebound from a 40-year-old. It got really interesting when LA went small without Hayes. Jokic gets nice position again. Reeves doubles on the baseline. everyone
You got to work
pulls in
around.
to protect the paint. And again, Gordon is dared to shoot. And this is the exact setup Redick and LeBron discussed on their podcast last year when having a conversation about defending Jokic.
Yep.
He knew getting that guy over there
Yep.
would make you have to make the tough decision.
Yep.
Do I help on his spin? Do I let him score?
Yep.
Or do I stay home on Aaron Gordon?
Only the Nuggets have their personnel backwards this time. They want Porter in the corner shooting so Gordon can roam the baseline as a lob threat. When the Lakers are small, they have very little rim protection, so they have to keep teams out of the paint.
Got to.
Jokic gets deep and they get a good shot, and so LA used its speed and agility here. Dorian Finney-Smith switches onto Jokic, then beats him to the spot to deny the pass. LeBron's on the backside,
Yep.
and James actually doubles Joker off ball. Gordon wisely sets a screen, and when Rui can't fight over, it's a great look for Denver. The Lakers doubled Jokic
That was
like
really
this
smart.
off the ball a ton. Rui and LeBron sandwich him here, and they leave Christian Brown on full dare mode. They did the same thing to Russell Westbrook at times during the game, baiting him into 17 field goal attempts on a night where Joker took just 7. And on this possession, they sent the entire team at him, first with Hachimura limiting his movement, then Reeves blocking his path. Then they basically triple team him off ball by sagging.
You know, like, I just don't get how people ever argue that Jokic isn't the best player in the world right now. There's nobody else you have to do this to.
Off Westbrook. They keep 3 guys on him with a wall.
He's
and
been
by
the
then
best player in the
Nuggets are
world for
stuck.
probably,
That
what,
might
2
be the
years?
craziest defensive
Come on,
possession
bro.
I've seen since the 1957
Be real.
National Championship
Nobody
game,
doing this.
When North Carolina swarmed Wilt Chamberlain like this so he couldn't catch it, daring his teammates to hit outside shots. Speaking of crazy, Jared Vanderbilt took the game plan as a personal challenge, jumping Julian Strawther for a steal right after he entered the game in the first. Then, 30 seconds later, he played bumper cars with Jokic in the backcourt. You can see Joker's frustration, and then he's called for the offensive foul with that little elbow.
Ooh.
And on the next possession, Joker's already had enough, and when they get down the floor, Westbrook tries to sneak it over the top, but Vando forces his 3rd turnover in about a minute.
Yeah.
And while we're on this, he then drew a flagrant foul on the rebound at the other end,
Ooh.
which just set up another full court dance.
You can't put a price on this, bro. You can't put a
Jokic,
price
where
on
he
this right
harassed
here.
him until finally going full Rodman with the impede then fall down maneuver. And I haven't seen this level of full court harassment since the 98 finals when Dennis entangled himself with Karl Malone judo style. The Lakers basically won this game by forcing 20 Nugget turnovers.
Oh my
6
God.
from Jokic himself, and 5 more trying to get him the ball. That's a nice effort by Doncic to fight for transition position.
That's just a
And
bad
on this
pass,
one,
too.
Finney-Smith switches and is already trying to swim around.
Get
in
around.
front
Good.
because he knows he has that roamer behind him to help in the paint. LeBron's fronting Jokic, so you know he's below the foul line. That pushes the catch outside the three-point line. On the back down, they send a
Now
triple
go.
team, and Westbrook can't handle the tight pass. And the Lakers
Wow.
scored a whopping 30.
But that's the wrong read, though. In Westbrook's defense, that's the wrong read. Like, the read is Aaron Gordon, right? Because now you put Gabe Vincent in a closeout situation where he has to close out and make a decision, which the one more, obviously, will be the Christian Brown in the corner. That's a tough pass to make. I mean, that ain't really Russell Westbrook's fault.
handle the tight pass. And the Lakers scored a whopping 39 points off turnovers in this game
Wow.
to Denver's 11. And that transition from defense to offense was a huge key to this victory, where it helps to have someone like LeBron James flying down the floor on the break. The Nuggets tried a few counters, having Jokic initiate and receive a high screen from a guard, and that one led to free throws. And they also had the guard screen off ball for Joker, but the Lakers
Just
jumped
was-
him with
yeah,
multiple
it's switch.
defenders.
That's
And
all
then
I would
James
do.
is still very tall and provides some rare rim
Give me that.
protection. Denver actually went back to this with a wrinkle, having Jokic set the screen, only for Brown to turn and screen for him, and that confused Gabe Vincent briefly and led to a deep catch and a foul. But when the Nuggets came back to it in the fourth, LeBron wasn't falling for it, tethering himself to Jokic, then fronting any post ideas, then
Nice.
switching on
Look
to
at that.
Murray,
No, but
so
that's
Finney
effort,
Smith
bro. You got to see the movement. Like if you don't really pay attention to the game, you'll miss these things, right? All we think about is made shots, dunks, whatever. Look at the effort by 40-year-old LeBron, who currently right now has 25, 10, and 5. And he's still playing this hard. Watch.
LeBron wasn't falling
This is sticking
for
to
it,
the game plan.
tethering himself to Jokic,
Look,
then
fighting over,
fronting any
chasing
post
him,
ideas,
taking the
then
hit,
switching on to Murray so Finney Smith could
switching into the ball,
to Murray
switching into the ball, like I've been saying.
so
Look at that.
Finney Smith could front Joker. Meanwhile, Hayes has Gordon on ignore, so he clogs up the drive,
Yep.
and that epitomized this game plan in spite of that make. Last year, JJ and LeBron were discussing our model of athleticism while talking about defending Joker.
So cognitive side of it is pattern recognition, spatial awareness, which is court mapping,
Yep.
anticipation, cognitive load, mental bandwidth, essentially your processing speed, right?
Wow.
And it was his definition of court mapping that caught my eye, because it's about where the empty space is and how it can be exploited. And LA's game plan here was about eating up that empty space. Space for Joker to cut and move into, and space for his teammates to move into while conceding stationary outside shots. Now, Denver can make more adjustments here, like backcourt screens to spring Jokic, or having him bring it up, or just adjusting the spacing on certain actions for better outlets. So this isn't a foolproof blueprint, but it's a proof of concept for the Lakers' small ball defense that's going to have to swarm with speed and strength to overcome its lack of height and paint protection.
Yeah.
And at least for one night, a game plan that started a year ago with two podcasters drinking
That's
some
cool.
wine
That's so crazy.
actually solved Nikola Jokic. We have more videos like
Shout out to Thinking Basketball. The best videos that I ever watched in terms of just learning the sport and just the way they break it down. Like, I love it. I feel like it makes me better, and obviously I translate that to you guys. But a couple of things that really we're just gonna go over briefly, right? Nobody has figured out Jokic. Nobody has. Like this is great. I'd love to see this work in a 7-game series. I'd love that. I'm not jumping the gun on it. As much as I love this as a Lakers fan to see this happen, I would have to see it done a couple times. Just as good as JJ Redick has been, like Michael Malone is not a joke. Like they'll figure it out on ways to counter different things, right? So you have to see how it works in a series of games. I'm just happy with the direction of the team right now. I think getting Luka to play some defense, getting LeBron to play some defense, and implementing our role players who have been absolutely phenomenal at this point in the season, we have a real chance to make a run. Problem is you got to go through the Denver Nuggets. This right here is a great start on maybe other teams in the league watch this games and say, hey, this worked for them. Let's see if we could do it too. But like I said, the NBA playoffs is not just one game, it's a series of games. So how do you string together a good series of games? I think offensively we're playing a little bit better. Defensively, we obviously we were literally number one in defense in the last 15 games in the league. Like, that's insane. So that was the area that I had concerns about. And to see that come together, the way the offense and defense is flowing right now, we getting easier baskets just off turnovers. 20 turnovers against the Nuggets is insane. So all that coming together is just a recipe for something great. So I guess we all just got to stay tuned and see what happens. But y'all let me know your thoughts down below. Leave a comment. Let's have a conversation. Be sure to leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. Turn your notification bell to know anytime that I post. Until the next one, love y'all to death. Peace.